The 100th Oregon Trail Days celebrations are officially in the books. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, it was a milestone weekend as the city of Gering celebrated its 100th annual Oregon Trail Days celebrations. Every July in Gering, Nebraska, the community celebrates Oregon Trail Days. Now in its 100th year, organizers pulled out all the stops for a top-notch celebration. Now, while the parades, chili cook-offs, and street dances are just as important for Oregon Trail Days, remembering the history and heritage that comes along with it is just as important. Behind me is Scottsbluff National Monument in Gering, which is one of the most written about landmarks for the pioneers who traveled westward on the old Oregon Trail. Committee Chairman Bill Peters says Oregon Trail Days is officially a remembrance of the celebration of the people who settled the North Platte Valley as pioneers continue to travel westward.
Of course, the Oregon Trail was much before the founding of Gering, but those people who made Gering their home got together in 1921 and had a discussion about how we were going to remember those brave pioneers who founded this area.
That inaugural event was small, according to Peters.
They put together a one-day celebration in which they celebrated it, and it was not named Oregon Trail Days at that time, but it was a settlers event. And about 2 years later, in 1923, it was expanded to a 3-day celebration, and at that time it became known as Oregon Trail Days.
And as the years progressed, so did the events that came with it.
The idea of it is to appeal to all generations.
And fortunately, this small town celebration still has direct descendants of those original pioneers and settlers from more than a century ago.
They're people who are descendants of the original members or founders of this area, yes.
The hope is that in a few generations from now, the next generation can enjoy the bicentennial celebration of Oregon Trail Days. The newly renovated visitor center at the Scottsbluff National Monument also highlights the history of the pioneers and the settlers from the Oregon, California, and Mormon trails. Well, a Grand Island man has been charged with vehicular homicide in the March crash near Ravenna that claimed the life of a Chadron man. 26-year-old Sergio Tinajero has been charged with misdemeanor motor vehicle homicide and driving an unregistered vehicle. Prosecutors say he was behind the wheel of a pickup truck just before 5 a.m. on March 19th when it collided with a SUV at a rural intersection east of Ravenna. A passenger in the SUV, 52-year-old Curtis Dinas of Chadron, died at the scene, and 3 others in the SUV were injured. Well, coming up after the break, Bill Boyer's in with your full week weather forecast. He'll have that right after the break here on KNEB.TV News.
At Platte Valley Bank, you don't have to be like a tortoise and carry your home on your back. They have mortgage experts that can help you finance the home that's perfect for you. Whether you're a first-time home buyer looking for your next home or simply want to refinance the home you're in, the experienced lenders at Platte Valley Bank are there to help. Contact them at pvbank.com or call and visit with one of the mortgage experts to take advantage of great rates at Platte Valley Bank.
New looks and new decor can be found at Compliments for You and Your Home. Check out the newest styles from Tribal, Charlie B, Ethel, and more. Compliments also has the shoes, purses, and jewelry for any occasion. Plus, right now, get 20% off all clearance apparel. While here, take a look at our solar lights and felt birdhouses. Finally, visit our newest addition, Katie Chandler and her salon. All this at Compliments for You and Your Home, 1708 Broadway, downtown Scottsbluff.
This is KNEB.TV weather from the KNEB Storm Center, your trusted source for weather.
Well, after a very busy Friday evening, it's tranquil over the weekend, and tranquil here into the evening hours as well. We have hazy, smoky conditions out there tonight. Areas of smoke filtering in from those wildfires to our west, and temps going to filter down into the upper 50s and low 60s. But areas of smoke and haze are going to remain around for a couple of days, it looks like. Storm chances return tomorrow. Some could be severe. Milder conditions for Wednesday and Thursday. Hit 90 yesterday after a morning low of 53. And nothing in the rain gauge. Still just 900s out at the airport. As we look at current temps, you can see the 80s, cooler air off to the east of us. We're primarily in the upper 80s and low to mid 90s here across our area. 87 in Cheyenne, 85 in Lusk. A couple of the cooler readings, 94 up in Valentine. Winds are in about that 5 to 15 mile an hour range from time to time. Severe weather threat tonight going to be well off east and south and away from us. Now, tomorrow we set the stage for a couple of areas of severe weather. First of all, we could see the severe storms here off to our north and west. That's where the best chance is at the slight risk. However, all across our area, we do have a marginal risk of severe storms, likely going to be in the form of gusty winds and some hail possible as well. The better severe weather threat on winds east of the Cornhusker State. So tonight, just an isolated thunderstorm at best. They're going to be very quiet and not many of them. Otherwise, we'll see a few passing clouds and just generally smoky, hazy conditions. Overnight lows are going to fall down into the 60s overnight, upper 50s and low 60s. For tomorrow, we'll set the stage for some late-day storms after we start with initially partly cloudy skies, areas of smoke and haze. Then here come in isolated to widely scattered thunderstorms during the late afternoon and early evening hours. It looks like some of those, again, isolated basis could be strong to severe. High temperatures tomorrow going to be in the 80s and 90s, 80s off to the north, 90s off to the south. And precip chances going to be pretty scant. Again, you could get a few hundredths out of some of those storms tomorrow, and your neighbors could get an inch or two. Depends on which side you fall on. Areas of smoke otherwise mainly clear tonight. Lows down around 62 tomorrow. A few late-day thunderstorms are possible. Highs into the low 90s. It'll be breezy as well. Winds at 15 to 25. Wednesday, cooler in the mid-80s. Very nice conditions there. Same situation for Thursday. We'll stay in the upper 80s. Only to get into the 90s for Friday all the way through the weekend with mostly sunny skies.
Why settle for Wi-Fi that just usually works? Why settle for customer service that's subpar? Why settle for service that's outdated? You don't have to. Settle for more with Allo, the faster, more reliable internet experience that's built for the way you use all your devices. For answers, visit us at allofiber.com/switch today. Allo, settle for more.
Welcome back. Authorities have been notified about an inmate missing from the Community Corrections Center, Lincoln. Ruby Bingham left her assigned work location in downtown Lincoln on Friday afternoon. She was seen on video getting into a vehicle with two other individuals, which drove away from the vicinity of the state capitol. Bingham started her sentence in April. She was sentenced to 3 years for possession of methamphetamine in Scottsbluff County. Bingham has a tentative release date of April 2024. She is a 40-year-old white woman, 5'2", 145 pounds, with brown hair and green eyes. Anybody with knowledge of her whereabouts is asked to contact local authorities or the Nebraska State Patrol. Well, the Friends of the Midwest Theater has been awarded a Nebraska Touring Program grant of $1,575 by the Nebraska Arts Council. The grant will support the upcoming performance of Billy and the Downliners this Saturday at the Midwest Theater. Nebraska Arts Council Executive Director Suzanne Wise says the Midwest Theater does an outstanding job of providing arts activities in the region. Billy and the Downliners will be presenting a non-stop, high-energy rock and roll extravaganza this Saturday night, and tickets are available by contacting the Midwest Theater box office. And Governor Pete Ricketts says he is extending the deployment of 15 State Patrol troopers along the U.S.-Mexico border for another 2 weeks. Ricketts says that about 25 Nebraska State Patrol troopers traveled to Del Rio, Texas in June to provide law enforcement assistance to the Texas Department of Public Safety. The deployment was made at the request of Texas Governor Greg Abbott and was expected to last up to 16 days. Both Ricketts and Abbott, who are Republicans, have been critical about Democratic President Joe Biden's border and immigration policies. Ricketts has said little about what duties the Nebraska State Troopers are performing. It's also unclear how much the mission will cost and who will cover those expenses. Well, coming up after the break, Chris Cottrell in with a recap of the weekend that was in local sports. All of that right after the break here on KNEB.TV News.
The summer heat is back, but you can keep your cool with new windows and doors from Renewal by Anderson of Wyoming. That's right, Christmas in July is back. And for a limited time, Renewal by Anderson is offering 20% off and no payment, no money down, and no interest for 18 months. That means no payment until 2023 and 20% off every window and door. Call 307-215-7493 and schedule your free in-home estimate from Renewal by Anderson of Wyoming today.
Are you looking for the perfect place to hold a wedding, family reunion, holiday office party, or business meeting? Well, look no further. The Hampton Inn and Suites Hotel and Conference Center is just the place for you. We're a full-service banquet facility that can host up to 400 of your guests. Stop in and see our spacious open-concept meeting rooms and begin planning your special event or family gathering today. Let us do the work for you so you can enjoy your guests. For personal service, stop by the Hampton Inn and Suites front desk.
In boots, new and old, you've walked the rows of life, a fence length of time. You fought the floods, snow, and sweltering heat, and lifted breathing and settled pain. With a smile and a cry, you've strengthened your community and future generations. Sometimes with nothing to say, often can't say enough. Like, let me do it again.
Now, sports from the FNBO Sports Desk. FNBO, the great big small bank.
It's the dog days of summer as I check in for the Monday update. Yeah, if you're not a baseball fan, the day-to-day for sports right now can be a little bit rough for you at this point. Locally, though, over the weekend, the Don Childs Memorial Run is part of OT Days weekend. Nick Kazire, the winner on the men's side. The women's top finisher was Lisa Freeberg. You can get full results for all divisions. Everything is listed on the website. Now, on the baseball front, the Pioneers took 2 of 3 at home over the weekend from Badlands. Got a big inside the park home run last night from John Ponder in the rubber game victory. The Pios hitting the road for 4 games now against Canyon County out in Idaho before they return home again this weekend prior to the All-Star break. All-Star game festivities and the game next week, Monday and Tuesday in Casper. We would have had some Legion baseball on the network today, but the Buckley at Gering doubleheader has been canceled. Gering will play again this weekend with 2 games in McCook. Wesco split games yesterday with the Cheyenne Hawks. They'll close out their regular season at home on Wednesday against Poudre, Colorado. The Z's area tournament starts Friday in Kearney. And the Class B Juniors Area Tournament. That is underway and continuing for Gering BNC Steel as they're in action again tonight, an elimination game against Top Seed Alliance. That tournament taking place in Chadron. The winner will take on the host tomorrow in the championship. starting at about 5 o'clock, and if necessary, game would be played for Game 2 to wrap up that tournament tomorrow night. That'll do it for today. The latest from right here at the Sports Desk.
I've struggled with my weight since I was 13, but weight loss surgery changed my life. I've lost 120 pounds, 80 inches, and gained a whole new outlook on life.
Weight loss surgery may be the answer to your weight and health problems. Regional West offers the support of skilled surgeons and a dedicated bariatric team for your journey to a healthier you. Learn more about weight loss options at Regional West. It's time for a new you.
When you call Gearing Valley Plumbing and Heating, you will have options. Repair it, rebuild it, or update it. Whether your furnace stops working or your bathtub won't drain, Gearing Valley Plumbing and Heating provides the services you need to be comfortable. Weekends, holidays, or late nights, we will be there. With over 30 years of service, our certified technicians and cutting-edge technology can keep your systems running at their peak efficiency. Gearing Valley Plumbing and Heating, every time we enter your home, we leave it a better place to live.
When it comes to helping local folks with the loans and financial advice they need, we don't horse around. Our only goal is to help you and your family achieve your financial goals with the right loans and savings products. So if you want to bank with people that care about you and your financial needs, stop by or give us a call. First State Bank. We're big on you. Member FDIC. Online at fsbcentral.com.
Well, let's take a look what's happening on today's community calendar. That's a look at today's community calendar, brought to you by First State Bank, honoring those who give back. Nominate your community champion at fsbcentral.com.
What a year 2020 was. Now's the time to get out and travel this summer to see family and friends you were not able to see this last year. Spend more time enjoying your trip by flying United Airlines, operated by SkyWest with daily flights to and from Denver. Reserve your flight today and remember United miles can be earned and redeemed with your flights. While at the airport, stop and enjoy authentic Italian food at Roma Italian Restaurant. And don't forget, Thrifty Car Rental is here for your car rental needs. Make life easier, relax, and hitch a ride with your BFF, Western Nebraska Regional Airport.
At Platte Valley Investment Center, we believe in personalized planning for your financial goals.
As your retirement income partners, our concern for your success combined with resources from Raymond James can help you make confident decisions for your financial future.
Our team of financial advisors will help you make your money work just as hard as you did to earn it. After all, our goal is to help you reach your financial goals.
Call me, Jody Rosiska, or Kevin Fig, Financial Advisors, to set up your free, no obligation pre-retirement review.
And finally tonight, one of the Oregon Trail Days activities, the art show and sale, has been part of the activities for 39 of the last 100 years of the celebration. Now, the show is a tribute to the woman who helped make it happen from the start. News Director Scott Miller has that story.
Mom always had a passion for art, and she was actually an artist herself.
For more than 3 decades, Vera Delaney was a driving force behind the annual art show and sale at Oregon Trail Days. Daughter Kathy Welfel says in addition to her own passion for art, her mother drove the committee behind the show from the start, believing in inspiring and lifting up new talent.
Mom believed that everybody should own original art, not just art, original art. So she made a big point of when they were, I shouldn't say recruiting artists because it's a juried show, but Mom would make a big point of a lot of the pieces being originals.
Both Kathy and her brother Dan can vividly recall their mother's passion for the show growing up.
I have distinct memories of helping Mom moving art, collecting all of the things, the administrative things, the papers, the cards, the name tags, all of the little things. She worried and took care of every little detail.
I remember when the art show used to be at the old Safeway building, and there was no air conditioning, and it was so hot, and all these artists were set up in there, and I was always in there just kind of, I was like 13, 14, 15 years old, and but I would help in any way I could.
And so the show has evolved over the years, something that Dan and Kathy tell us their mother would be very proud of. The most recent evolution, the naming of the show in their mother's honor, well, that's a different story.
Why would you do such a thing?
Yeah.
Why would you put my name on the art show? It's not my art show, it's the Oregon Trail Art Show.
Right.
She would have deferred very wholeheartedly, and she would have questioned your judgment no end.
As Dan told us, Vera loved to stay behind the scenes, being the cog that made things happen, then melt away as though she had nothing to do with it. But as part of the Oregon Trail Days tradition, the show is a legacy that will continue to bring family together.
We only get to come back at Oregon Trail Days, and it was always to see Mom and my sister and to see the art show. That's been the annual tradition for decades. And so the art show and coming home are just perfectly related in my mind.
At the 100th Oregon Trail Days celebration in Gering, Nebraska, I'm Scott Miller.
Vera Delaney was more than the main force that made this art show and sale possible. She was also the Scottsbluff County Clerk for 36 years before retiring in December of 2018. She passed away just days before the 98th Oregon Trail Days celebration, with organizers renaming the art show in her name. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there. We'll see you here next time.